morning and welcome to Enterprise Morning on Enterprise Television. I am Kende Bodering.
And I am Henry Ibok.
All right, so it's the start of a new day and we are glad to have you on the show today. We will kick off with today's newspaper review before diving into the main conversation of the day. Trust me, you don't want to miss a moment. You can join the conversation by dropping your comments, liking and following us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. So joining us to share the matters at hand is Barrister Evans Ofeli. He's a barrister and a public affairs analyst.
Good morning to you, Barrister. Thank you so very much for the time. All right, so let's start today off with the first daily on our desk. Coming from the Guardian newspaper, we have the big story. Back to school. Parents struggle with a steep tuition hike as schools wrestle rising operation expenses.
Wow, okay, so we're going to start from the top strip here. Opabio urges Nigerians to tarry, says Tinubu's reforms will bear fruit.
Wow, we hope so. Shakaral's PDP chairmanship, ADS prospect on settle ADC coalition.
Okay, still on the top strip, we have that man warns against divisive narratives in downstream sector.
And also, Arebashola condemns the APC's economic policies.
We have Don blames poor nutrition policy execution for 45% child mortality.
All right, so but let's get to a talking point for today. Abio yet again urges Nigerians to tarry, says Tinubu's reform will bear fruits. A barrister. There's another song again. Oh, things are getting better. Part 2.
It's in the government. I mean, Akpabio is the Senate president. Yeah. There's nothing else to say when you are failing than to try to preach hope to the people. But this hope itself, hoping against hope, is a dangerous way to live. Because if things are going to get better, you should see the projections. You should see the laying blocks. You should see from the blueprint of government's plan. Okay, this government have nothing like that. Okay, so this is just another gas hope. I mean, so that you don't go into insurrection. They are looking at what is happening in Nepal and what is happening across the globe. Okay. How countries are rescuing their citizens from poverty, how countries are putting machineries in place to see how citizens are able to live in the midst of the global larger economic crisis. Countries are doing well within the scope. The likes of Netherlands, okay, countries that actually have no mineral resources, no nothing. Sitting at the center of water, and they're able to care for their citizens with their creativity. So, but here we are, a country, the biggest black concentration of people in the world, with natural human resources and all that, and they are lost in between. Some citizens how to cook rice, and you saw people scrambling on how to get rice and the rest of that. So it paints a picture of gloom that it does not look like there's salvation at hand. I don't think so. In as much as people are expected to work out their own salvation, there's a role that the government have to play in this whole thing, and that role, if the government play that role well, the citizens can take it up from there. And that is to say, what does it cost to supply electricity, for example, have constant power supply? If you have that, the citizens can pick it up from there, pick up the fragment of themselves, and look at what they can do with power, and look at how they can contribute to the larger economy and society. But when you don't have that, you don't have the issue of the investment programs that we have. I mean, we have laws now that are made to take care of poverty, but those laws, the governments are not implementing them. So it's for citizens now to go to court, take portions of those laws, okay, and then go to court and say these laws are as follows: the Social Investment Act, Social Investment Act. Yes, that law provides for the fact that there should be a meal a day for every child in school. The Child Right Act in section 15 says that no child shall be out of school. Okay, you have other laws that are on that premise on that, because if you're able to feed children effectively, it eases up the burden for the parents. If you're able to go and take these children that are out of school into school, it saves us the burden of insecurity. Then if the government is able to put things in place, where is the Ministry of Education? Where is the ministries of the one that has to do with welfare?
Yeah, humanitarian affairs.
Humanitarian, yes. Where are they? What are they doing? What are their plans? What is their budget for the year? How much have they performed within the time we have? How many states are implementing this? You know, what's federal government plan on it? For example, what's federal government plan on IDPs? Okay. Because for those who are, I mean, the middle class and sub-middle class, one way or the other, they're able to, they are the entrepreneurs, and they are the ones who have white-collar jobs. One way or the other, the economy is able to take care of them by virtue of their work. But for the informal sector, one way or the other, those who are selling, market women, those who are into petty trade, those who are into tailoring, hand skilled laborers and all that, plumbers, and they take care of themselves. The society can take care of them by that support, that they get jobs here and there. But those who are indigent, those who are born into poverty, raised in poverty, sustained in poverty, and they can easily be. So the Senate president should go beyond just telling Nigerians that we should bear with the president that things will get better. How can you say things are going to get better when you are introducing tax? When you are going to start to charge Nigerians next year, so charge them, but that's not things getting better. That's deepening the crisis.
It's actually quite interesting, you know, Barrister, all that you said, but most importantly is the Hilda Bassey thing. You know, unfortunately, lots of people are not looking at it from the angle you just saw it. That over 20,000 people who registered weren't actually going there to cheer her up, but to see if they could benefit from the rice that will be served.
Yeah,
you know, and that is a picture of the kind of society we find ourselves.
Yes, even though a lot of people have argued that not all of them are really hungry.
Yes,
I agree. There are people who just want to partake in the process, promote her, and but there were people who genuinely were hungry. There was a guy that put his hand like this in between irons, 2 bars, and the rice was. I was asking myself, if he pulls his hand out, what happened? Yeah, because it was like between.
So how does he bring out the food?
So I mean, the paradox of you securing what you have taken. It looked like a story that was told halfway. It's like walking from answer to question. You are not going to get what exactly you are supposed to. So you see, as much as there were 2 different set of persons who were in that place, it does not in any way extricate the fact that some persons are really there for survival. Especially the ones who couldn't gain entrance because they did not register. But having seen the port, anybody who saw that port knew that
felt it could feed the whole of Lagos.
Yes, so they went there to get something. So whatever it is, you know.
Gracious. All right, so let's move on to another story. And interestingly, what else do we have from the Guardian newspaper?
Okay.
Well, the ongoing crisis, there's not unconnected with the ongoing crisis. It has to do with Nupeng and Dangote and the rest of the ecosystem. Mainly the upstream upstream. Is it the upstream? Yeah.
Okay.
Is it upstream or downstream?
No, the downstream is gets to distribute products to the last consumer.
The downstream, mainly the downstream. So they're having a lot of hitches, principally logistical hitches. You know, those who are in the union, when they take a decision in the union that seems to affect those who are into the business. Those who are in the business begin to look for ways to pull out from, to do things differently, do things their own way. You understand? By so doing, you have division.
Yes.
Okay? You have division. You have people are trying to, as much as the petroleum sector is well regulated, heavily regulated, you can't just come and start your own. There are processes. And I mean, and that's how it is all over the world. There are processes. You can't just sell any price you like. You can't do monopoly in a way that you would do in some other businesses that are not regulated. So many businesses are not regulated. But the ones that are regulated like this, you have to go through certain processes and procedures. You understand? And sometimes the union and the government, they run into disagreements. The union and owners of businesses run into different kind of agreements. So disagreement rather. So it is in the interest of the nation, whichever way they battle, it affects the country, whichever way. If that strike was not called off on that particular day they met, by now we'll be finding it difficult to commute. Okay, because there will be shortage. Price will have increased. The economic losses will be recording economic losses every day in the next perhaps 1 month or 3 weeks. You understand? But you see that was averted because reason prevailed. So it is important that those in the regulatory section step into that and discuss on how this will not repeat itself, so that there will not be division. Once there's division, even the marketers themselves, it will affect them. Even the ones in the plans, it will affect them, it will affect everybody. So there's a need for cohesion, and that cohesion must be sustained. And it should be for the global good of the Nigerian states. You know, when things are going, see, you need to just, as it is now, in this country, nobody is ready to multiply anybody's problem. There's enough problem at hand to go round. You understand? So anybody that is yelling somewhere, trying to aggravate or amplify his own or your own problem, you just need to look for a way to nip it in the bud. Because whatever it is you are yelling at or whatever, if you allow it to compound the already existing problem, you will be overwhelmed. And that's exactly what the union is saying. There's a need to checkmate all the sectors and subsectors in the oil and gas industry and ensure that there's cohesion. It's possible, they can do it. So they should just stay within what is possible, what is amenable, because of the larger society that depends heavily on whatever it is their decisions, actions and inactions are. There's a need for them to do that.
Well, I just hope that they respect the rules of engagement. Dangote already had deployed over 1,000 trucks this morning, and marketers are really not happy. They're not excited about it. I do not know if Dangote feel immune to whatever it is the marketers are saying at this point. And all they're asking is allow these drivers to register with the union so they can respect whenever it is we call for sanctions or actions or whatever it is. But Dangote, the capitalist that he is, doesn't want to do that.
Yeah, because you see there's an existing union. He wants, we're not saying you should not bring your driver, but let them register with Nupeng.
Yes.
You understand? But why Dangote don't want them to register with Nupeng is that if they register with Nupeng, then their allegiance will be to their union
and not to him.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because if unions say we're not lifting, it's because they are threatening not to lift. That's why Dangote deployed.
Yes.
If they join union, if they join union and union say we're not lifting, they can't leave the union, the leadership of the union, to go and do something else. Why? You understand? So it's a battle of allegiance, and with as time goes on, But one thing I know about unionism too is that it's a voluntary. When you join a union, whatever it is that the union provides as security safeguards your business, keep you within business and the rest of that. You are not going to be running at your own what do you call it now? At your own floric.
Okay.
You understand? That's assuming we're not considering you are a small company. But the likes of Dangote believe that he can pull through any of this thing. Not like it's compulsory that because you are doing this, because a lot of people have gone to court in the past to say that if there's a union in this business, because the unionists used to make it compulsory that if you must do this business, you must join union. A lot of people have gone to court in the past, and the court have ruled that the Constitution clearly states that you can join any association of your choice. You can decide to join, you can decide not to join. There's no compulsion, there's no force by the Constitution.
Okay.
So there are a lot of lay down. It's just that sometimes when you don't join, there are a lot of benefits that comes to the union because they are known that you may not be able to attract. Okay? And so that's why small, young businesses will always, you know, they want to belong. Sometimes you even give them visibility. Sometimes you even give them job. Okay? This XYZ is handling this. They can refer customers to, you understand? So, but for big players like Dangote who came into the business already made, he feels he can dispense of union and all that. That's what is going on. But I think they will find a middle ground. Somewhere.
All right, I just hope so. Dangote, of course, has resigned from all other businesses that he has going on, and he is concentrated 100% on his refinery. I'd love to believe this would not head to a showdown that would, like you said, affect the Nigerians in the long run. You know, that's my thinking. But let's get to the Vanguard newspaper, and we have the big story: how attendants manipulate forms. Stating here, and equally I'd love us to take it to what's happening in the US, especially with the Charlie Kirk issue, and lots of you know, people are coming from different angles on that particular one. I know it's none of our business, but since it's happening around the world, I think it's important that we talk about it. So let's take it from the non-alignment of Nigeria. What does that mean? Then maybe let's crisscross.
Non-alignment is what they call foreign policy. In our own foreign policy, Nigeria don't take side with any party in international politics. That's what non-alignment means. When you look at the ongoing battle between Israel and other sub-nations within the Middle East, you see that South Africa went to court.
Okay, yeah.
You understand?
Sure.
That's a country that have a foreign policy of alignment.
Okay.
Okay, that can take side and visibly show that, you know, we South Africans in the government are against Israel.
Isn't that a show of strength?
This is our reason.
Yes.
You understand? No, you see, you must come to a certain level of independence and certain level of ability to take care of yourself before you can begin to take such kind of decisions. You understand? Nigeria has never been in that place where it will. It has always been our policy to be objective. Okay, on issues. Nigeria contributes well to international cause, of course, which is what we should do by the UN Convention and all that. but that to take visible stands on issue and say this is where we stand, we'll sanction this, we'll sanction that, just like the US will go into a country and take a decision, take somebody out, especially when it relates to terrorism and the rest of that. And we're not doing that. We don't have that capacity to try to oversee the world. Well, I mean, there are countries who do that. Try to oversee. Do you know that something is going on? Something might be going on in Nigeria, and you will see a discourse in British Parliament on it.
Yes, very well.
You see, even the American Parliament, you see discourse.
The yellow water issue in Benue State was raised in the UK Parliament.
How many times have we had our Parliament raising issues in our Parliament? You see, the problem in our Parliament is they cannot even discuss it in 100 years. Our own problem that we have. You understand? So we are not, even in Africa, our Parliament don't even raise issue in our back door. The Parliament raised an issue yesterday that Dangote fuel is cheaper in Cotonou and Togo than it is in Nigeria. You should have raised the issue this morning. Somebody should have raised it at the National Assembly, and then someone Dangote to come out. But we don't do those kind of things. We don't do it. We have money problem.
So signs of weakness from us.
I don't think it's weakness. I think we're trying to survive. We're trying to survive first before we begin to talk about. It's just like Nigeria are talking about nuclear weapons in this hunger. You understand?
So we is it that we try to shy away?
Not shy away. We don't think that. We don't see. There's a level you begin to discuss national issues. Why was I not doing analysis on TV when I was in secondary school? It's not my priority. I was talking about the country in second. What concerns me? My priority then is to focus on my studies, right? Then having acquired considerable knowledge. That's what I'm giving an example. Having acquired considerable knowledge, then you're now looking at. You step into a level where you want to give back to society, whatever in form of knowledge, in form of whatever it is, humanitarian and all that. How many countries are here giving humanitarian? We have IDPs all over the place, so we have not been able to take care of. So I see it like we don't have that strength to jump into everything that's happening. America jump into things. They have capacity. Even a state in America can handle some of the things going across the world. The state, you understand? So we are not into that all that. And first of all, our population is a problem. You understand? Our population is a whole is so much. I was looking at the Canadian population when I read that 1,000 plus Nigerians were denied asylum. I said, let me even check this Canadian population. Maybe their population is too much. And I was saying their population at, is it about I can't remember now, but not close to our population. It's almost like half of ours.
Yes, half. Yeah.
You understand? Almost like half of our population. The whole of that space, that whole land, one province is bigger than Nigeria.
Yeah.
So I don't think they have problem. If you are looking at them from the kind of problem Nigeria have, I don't think they have problem. But they are saying that they are already overwhelmed. You understand what I'm saying? So we're not that non-alignment. I think is the best economic policy. I think Nigeria should maintain. That's what it should maintain for now. They don't jump on issues up and down. So let's maintain let's first of all be able to feed ourselves. Let's educate ourselves. When we're able to do those two, then we can start to act like one headmaster. With other countries, they go like this, no, don't go this way, go this way. You understand? The time we had the opportunity to be all that, we lost it. When we had the opportunity to rule the world with palm kernel and the rest of that. People came, stole it, and rubber and all that. We are supposed to be, Nigeria is supposed to be that research institute of the world when it comes to palm oil. We are supposed, when it comes to cassava production, when it comes to yam, all those, our strength, we're supposed to have research institute in Nigeria where other countries will come pay heavy money here and learn how to do it and go back. But we allow them to come, they just pick it, they go and replicate it and the rest of that. Our focus on palm oil is how to use it to cook soup. Do you know that there's a company that came to buy palm produce in Delta State from England? Do you know that that 33,000 liters of, do you know it's over 80 million naira? Do you know it's over 80 million naira?
Wow.
Do you know that the people who came to buy do not know that they use palm oil to cook soup? It's for industrial scale.
Can you imagine?
They don't know it's oil. It's oil. What is it? Oil? It's just not far away from saying crude oil and any other kind of oil. It's just a type of it. The palm oil you buy today, foreign, is from palm oil. You understand? So we had all this, not been able to refine our best of produce to the point where it gets international attraction. Is our problem. And we have all the agricultural research institutes and all that. When you go there, they are moribund. So I just focus on corruption. And that's why we're not moving forward. Otherwise, Nigeria have no business. A citizen will say looking for a job. Looking for which job? And now we have industrialized everywhere.
We'll just be like, it will be like China.
We're not supposed to be working. We're supposed to employ all these African countries that think they can be like that are saying that they should be where we are. It's because we don't manage our economy. If we had managed our economy well, we would have taken all of them to want to be working here. We don't work. When we wake up, just like in Qatar, the citizens don't work.
Yeah.
They contract this thing to small, all these, what do you call it, immigrants. Use them to do the job they want to do. That's how Nigeria is supposed to be. Because when you call Qatar, you call Nigeria, they're all OPEC countries.
Yeah.
You understand? But we lost it, you know. And they were nowhere to be found in the whole distance.
How do we curb this ominous? Like, how do we put an end to it?
Leadership. It takes leadership to start the conversation. Okay? Start the conversation. We can have an agricultural policy or take a decision that each state is going to cultivate this. They will have this support.
Okay. In
the next 5 years, this is what it will yield. After that 5 years, the next other 5 years, we're going to have, each state is going to contribute 2-3 industries. These industries will be able to employ this number. These numbers, we should be able to get the kind of exports that we require, the standard and all that. That is why you have the economic, you know, the governors are in the economic council.
Yeah.
That is why the economic council exists.
Headed by the vice president, of course.
By the vice president to steer the economy. So what are they discussing? They should be talking about the Minister for Agriculture should be able to come up with a blueprint on that. Not just for agriculture, but the other ministers. The one for solid minerals should be able to come up with a blueprint. You said, go to the economy, present that paper there. Let's see it work. But we're not doing it. When we do, even the few ones that make an attempt to do it, when money is released, they're embezzled. So we're not looking at the future at all in this country, and it's unfortunate. We should have a plan, a target, what we want to become. Who's the Minister for Agriculture now? We don't know where he is. The Minister for Education. We're talking about STEM now because there's no way you can become very productive, industrialized without education playing a role. Today we're talking about STEM. What's Nigeria's policy on STEM? You understand? What is Nigeria's policy on that science, technology, engineering and mathematics? That's where the world is now. That's where the world is going to. So if we're able to, the Minister for Education is able to co-opt that system, we'll work on our curriculum. Why is doing that? The Minister for Agriculture is creating a pathway for agricultural boom. Why we're doing that? The one for solid minerals is doing its own. You understand? Yeah. The other ministers, they are doing their own job. Yeah, so that is when Akpabio can be telling us that see what this minister has done, see what this one has done, see what the economy is kicking high. In the next city, the economy will be this way. We're not seeing all that. Nothing. And I say the economy will. How is it going to do it? Eh? They're telling us that we should bear that the economy. Look at the kind of loan this man is taking. The country had taken so much loan to the point where the Speaker of the House of Representatives, who is a party member, APC, the same party, rose up and was like, what is all this? The man is protesting. You understand? The man is protesting. This money, when I go, what is the repayment plan? And these people that are giving you this money, they know that you have, because you have sovereignty. Whatever it takes, if like let the ones that are children are yet if you are born in Nigeria today, you are a debtor. Every child is a debtor. When you share, when you ratio it. So this is going to impact on the future. Why must we continue like that when we can actually run our economy? There was a time we ran our economy on agriculture, based on agriculture, and we can do it. A lot of countries are still doing it.
All right, we just hope that things get better. So, Barrister, in 60 seconds, if you may, we're talking about the Charlie Kirk issue and free speech, especially. So let's drive it to Nigeria and ask ourselves: so when is free speech possibly a problem in Nigeria? I know we as Nigerians have not gotten to that level of what's happening in the United States, where somebody can just get killed for voicing his mind, whatever he feels. But how can we, what lessons are there for us to learn from that situation right here in Nigeria?
Yeah, a lot of people are playing. The cause of his death has not been, so I said the cause. The cause is known because he was shot.
Yes.
But what I mean, the remote causes, the reason behind, I mean, there have not been confessions.
Yes.
Have there been any?
No. The young man is not cooperating with the police as at this morning.
I've been following and I've not seen.
No, he hasn't said anything yet.
What could have prompted it? Whether it was malicious or whether it just whatever it is. But listening to him over some videos, he's a Christian, right? He's been propagating the gospel. They have also shown us videos of him, making serious critique against black, showing racism at its peak, and that's actually contrary to the Christian faith. Yes, so that I've seen. I've also seen videos of him promoting knowledge, promoting enterprise, calling for oneness, togetherness, and the rest of that. So there are different versions of what him. Nobody can say this is what this guy represents in terms of if you want to talk in finality, because we've seen videos of him on different subject matter, talking on different perspectives. Okay. So until the person in question, the suspect, until he's properly investigated and he makes confessional statements. Yes, he makes confessional statements. We may not be able to know as to free speech. Free speech is regulated by law. The reason the Constitution gave that right is because the human entity is an expressive entity. Okay. And so the Constitution gave that right so that people will not be gagged. Okay. When something is going on, they should be able to speak out. Either to call for security, or to call for help, or to contribute to mankind, or to contribute to society. Okay. So from the standpoint of law, the free speech is for positive contribution to society. Then critique bad governance. Okay. Make objective analysis of issue and contribute constructively to discourse. That's what I mean. Free speech does not underscore falsehood. Okay. That's where the law took it back. Yes. Free speech does not underscore falsehood. That is why we used to have the law of sedition in Nigeria before it was abolished, because it now became overreaching. It overreached the Constitution. Because yes, then when you now criticize government, just like the Cybercrime Act today, the Cybercrime Act today used to be what the sedition law was in the days of yore. Yeah, that is why you see a lot of criticism against the Cybercrime Act. That you cannot say people should not use the social media to express themselves. That if they write, if they write or they speak or they do whatever it is, and you term it, what do you call it, cybercrime. When you term it cybercrime, whether or not it's a cybercrime, you use that to arrest them, prosecute them. Sometimes they're in detention because our judicial system is not working freely. At the end of the day, the court will declare them, the court will discharge them. But then you would have already punished them. You would have punished them. Some of them we are waiting trial for years. By the time they are free, they had already spent the penalty they ought to have spent if they were convicted. And they have been set free. So the penalty is that the argument is that it should not even be part of our laws at all, because the same way sedition was taken out. That is how the Cybercrime Act should be taken out. That argument is tenable. Okay, because there's a thin line between what constitutes cybercrime and what is allowed. Okay, some people have argued that as long as it does not go against the community rules of the social media, it should not become a crime by the Cybercrime Act. Now, the other question is, how would you tie community rules to legislation
of every country?
Of every country, yes.
Because with the case of Showore calling the president the word, you know, and Twitter said that it would not delete it because it does not go against the community rule. It
didn't go against the community rule. And even if Twitter is to be mandated to delete it, Twitter cannot, by the order of DSS or SSS, remove it. The SSS will have to go and obtain a court order because the SSS do not have penal authority or punitive authority. You must get an order of court. An order of court can do that as long as the company has become part and parcel of Nigeria. A company is a person under the law. It must abide by the laws of the country.
Okay.
But the laws of the country did not say an enforcement agency, a law enforcement agency, can call on you to take down without a court order. Yes, you need a judicial authority to sanction that thing. Otherwise, Enterprise Civic can wake up one morning and ask the gate man to block this road. Another institution will wake up one morning and say, because Enterprise Civic blocked this road yesterday, you block this other one. So you need a court order to be able to do whatever you want to do. A restraining order or an order of mandamus to compel. You understand? Yes. So when they started saying, go and pull it down, go and do this one, go and the handler to the president sending messages, go and that's not what you do. That's not what the DSS will do. That's not what the handler, that's not what the presidency should do. The president should go and obtain a court order to have that done. You can't just, I'm surprised that they are not aware. Is that they're not aware, they don't want to do the right thing? I'm surprised.
All right, let's see how that goes, though. Freedom of speech, of course, should be contained in a way that respects the law of the land. Of course, we have a new cybercrime, act and all that, and I think people should learn what is in there so as not to go against the law. Barrister will still be here to take us on our main conversation when we return. Ibas hails peace efforts as parties reject 6 months emergency rule. In a bit, it's still Enterprise Morning. Please don't go anywhere.
We'll be right back.
The elections are around the corner. Before you know it, it will be 2027. But before then, for you to partake in the election, you must have your voter's card. And for you to have your voter's card, you must register. INEC has rolled out the drums. We call this program Continuous Voters Registration. And it is for you to register. This is to do that if you want to vote. And it's important that you take part in the process of voting. Just go there, give them your name and your address. That's all. And of course, they will capture you, take your picture, and that's all. You are done. Within 5 minutes, you are done. And after that, when the time comes, they call it claims and objection time. That's when you look at it. They will paste all the results or the names of those that have registered all over the places. You will go to the place you register, check your name that is well spelled, and the information you've given them correct. And that's all. After some time again, they will tell you that your voter's card is ready. You go and pick it. That is all. Be a good Nigerian citizen. Partake in the process, because it's a duty imposed on you by Section 23 of the 1999 Constitution as a good citizen. And you will be better off by voting, because you have your mind that, yes, you voted right. I'm Wale Ogunade, constitutional lawyer, human rights activist, and President Voters Awareness Initiative. Thank you.
Thank you so very much for joining us. This is still Enterprise Morning, reaching you from Enterprise Television. Let's head straight to our conversation for today. As Rivers State prepares for the return of Governor Siminalayi Fubara on September 18th, the outgoing sole administrator, Vice Admiral Ibok Ibas, retired, has defended his 6 months emergency tenure, saying he fulfilled President Bola Tinubu's mandate by stabilizing the state. He highlighted the conduct of local government elections and efforts at reconciliation as major achievements, urging politicians and stakeholders to put aside differences for the progress of the state.
Very true. Speaking at a Thanksgiving service in Port Harcourt, Ibas called on Rivers State people to embrace peace, forgiveness and unity, stressing that no political victory should come at the cost of the state's stability. Opposition parties, however, have strongly condemned Ibas' tenure, calling for investigations into its management of state resources. And
also the People's Democratic Party, PDP, described the 6-month emergency rule as unconstitutional and a waste of time, while the Labour Party alleged it served the interest of President Tinubu and the FCT Minister, Nyesom Wike, rather than the people. Similarly, the new Nigeria People's Party dismissed the rule as illegitimate.
In contrast, the All Progressives Congress praised Ibas for upholding democratic processes and preventing violence during a politically tense period. The emergency rule in Rivers was declared by President Tinubu on March 18 following prolonged political turmoil between former Governor Wike and Governor Fubara.
Both chambers of the National Assembly endorsed the decision 2 days later, suspending Fubara and the State Assembly despite the public criticism. Although 11 PDP governors challenged the move at the Supreme Court, no update has been given since then.
We also have, with local elections now concluded and reconciliation efforts underway, the return of Governor Fubara is expected to restore democratic governance as Rivers transitions out of emergency rule.
All right, so let's get talking. We still have with us the Barrister Van Sufili. Thank you so very much, Barrister.
Very well.
All right, so let's talk Rivers State yet again. 18th is just a couple of days close, and Fubara likely might come. Of course, it's becoming glary because I saw Ibas dancing away, during his church
Thanksgiving.
Yes, Thanksgiving and all. So which means it's almost sure that Fubara would come back. But what would you see a new Fubara looking like?
Well, first of all, the Thanksgiving, it shows you how hypocritical we are when we are doing illegality, and then we call God to come and oversee and supervise our illegality.
Yes.
Now we are done with that illegality. We have gone to God to just
bless
like
it.
yes, just like the solar administrator, the outgoing solar administrator was talking, that he's been able to douse tension, able to create, I think at the end of the day, we'll just end up confusing the coming generation. I mean, this is going to be part of the study of government, history, and civics, okay? And then the next generation will be wondering the kind of people that came before them. When you have a constitution that says the president have a power to declare a state of emergency. He has the power to undertake extraordinary means. He did not anyway, the constitution or the law did never say that you can take down a democratically elected a governor who has a mandate of the people, who have allegiance of the people, just to bring in a foreigner or a strange person unknown to them to govern them for the next 6 months, which has happened already, which itself shows illegitimacy. So you are talking about what I think of Fubara,
Yes.
the new Fubara. I think it's going to be a man who just wants to mark time.
Really?
I do not see him as someone who is coming to avenge or revenge. I see him as someone who is coming back to complete whatever is left of the shenanigan already installed by Wike. The APC is saying that they are congratulating the sole administrator that he has been able to normalize things, stabilize democratic processes. That's what they use. That's the word. There was nothing democratic about the emergence of a sole administrator. It only has served the interests of Wike and the president and the APC. You understand? There's no other thing it has done. Because remember, during the inaugural speech of the sole administrator, he said part of his responsibility is to step in and settle the dispute between the warring parties. If you remember the speech that time, when he stepped in, there was no day he called the warring parties together. He started appointing, and in fact, they had to set up a committee at the National Assembly, 21-man committee at the National Assembly to monitor his spending. You understand? For the 6 months, he never one day, I'm not sure he even saw Fubara for the 6 months, let alone settling or quelling the dispute. It was Wike and the president that called him aside, called Fubara aside and gave him a warning and said, you are going to go back, but you must not contest again. You must do this, you must do this, you must. The same way they tried to settle it when the president called, you go and withdraw your case, go and do all that. The same thing. So I think it's because they wanted him at the beginning of the administration to be a robot.
That's Fubara?
Yes. Okay. He chose not to be a robot. He wanted to be his own man, make his own appointment, do all the conduct local government election. Look at what happened. The local government election he conducted with the APP. Yes. The APP won 22 seats.
22. While the DPP had one.
They wanted him to be a robot. When they discovered that it's not going to be that robot, he doesn't want to be that robot, they now declare state of emergency. So do you think that his coming back is going to be to oppose government again or to want to be a man of his own?
But Fubara has been someone that is very so unpredictable. He has lots of things going on up his sleeves.
Yeah, well, I agree with you if you say it's unpredictable. I don't see him as, because he was begging for this return. Yes. He was begging for it. They gave me, that's why they gave me a lot of conditions. He does not want to be that governor that his tenure was outlived by crisis and he couldn't return. So I don't see him as someone who's going to even contest these local governments, these funny creatures that were voted into office wearing that funny cap, the councillors, and I don't see him opposing. And by the way, he cannot even return as a governor with that structure on ground. Cannot return. The reason he did that election, that the APP and brought all those people, is to secure his comeback. Okay. That's what it means. Because local government election in Nigeria is the governor that runs it.
Yes.
Any party the governor does it, they'll just set it. Look at it. When Fubara contested it, they won almost all the seats.
Yes.
When Wike contested it, they won almost all the seats. So that is the machinery for your comeback. All you need to do is to fund them, give them targets, and then tell them what they will get if you come back. That's all. That's strategy.
Do you think River State history would forgive him? Would he have maybe proved stubborn just to ensure that that was, documented in history, that at a time in the history of River State, someone wanted to take over his position and he let go and was very,
resigned?
Yes, or said, I won't. You take it over, whatever it is.
Fubara doesn't look like that kind of person. You must be very shrewd. You must be very independent intellectually to be able to do that. If he had pushed for, they will increase it by another 6 months. The Constitution says you can.
Okay, you can.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, practically begging for this thing now. Anyway, they called the meeting was there. Thanksgiving, just to ensure that you guys should just come and take your thing. Let me just finish my 4 years. That's the posturing I'm seeing. So it's going to be a subservient governor going forward. That's what I see. Anything they say, that's what he's going to do. Because he cannot bypass this local government structure now and go and create an external structure to get a comeback. That's going to do it. And if he comes and dismantle what they have instilled, it might cost him that seat again.
Can state of emergency be reapplied again after
the law is silent about it. The law did not say whether you can do or not. So you think this government will not do it?
Do you think it's possible?
Or they will not force him to resign? When they know that if he resigns, they will be able to manipulate the system. So this is a very worrisome system. A very weak federalism. A very weak federalism. A weak federalism to the extent that those who own the state, the people, are not able to, hold their ground and say no. A weak federal structure to the point where the law court, where the matter has been for the past 5 months, did not determine the case. A very weak federation. So where are you going to go? If you have gone to court and court is not helping you, where will you go again? There's nowhere to go again. There's no way where to go again. That is why at the NBA conference, we called on the court to make a pronouncement. I know the matter is in court, it has not been withdrawn, so the court will still determine it. But
what use would it be? Exactly.
Yeah, what's the essence of determining it outside the pendency of the state of emergency? Because it's a constitutional issue, the court is supposed to give it primacy. The court is supposed to give it, priority. Because the constitutional matter that at the last time the court tried to resolve this issue of state of emergency under Joshua Dare and others, because Joshua Dare had resumed before the court determined it had become an academic exercise. The court didn't make pronouncement on the substantive issue. Now that is why you had a repeat. Now this repeat, your court now had an opportunity
to correct the mistake.
To correct it, yes. When you correct it, it becomes a precedent. Then when we get to that ties again, the court will be able to, the president will be on ground. That you can declare state of emergency. Yes, fine, but you can't take a governor out. You can't. Because even in this same country, state of emergency have been declared in local government under Jonathan regime.
Yes.
Different local government, the councillors of those wards, the chairman of those wards were not removed. And it was still effective. So it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that the court did not do what it ought to do. It's unfortunate.
But being a stakeholder, yes, being a stakeholder in this issue, especially with regards to the court, to avoid, of course, precedence has been set. How do we go about avoiding this in the future? Do we have those capable, people with good grey matters that can solve all this so it wouldn't repeat itself?
Yeah, the only way we can know whether it repeats itself or not is for the court to make a pronouncement on the matter before it, whether during or after the pendency of the state of emergency, because the matter is still there.
But I used to think the court is independent. The judiciary is independent.
The judiciary is supposed to be independent, yes.
So who is not making it possible?
That is the question. Who is afraid of the executive? Because the president is to the executive what the CJN is to the judiciary. But you see that we have messed it up in Nigeria. You see how Onoge was removed by the executive.
Yes.
Under Buhari. You understand? So we have messed it up. We have made it look like the CJN is under the president. That's not the law. That's not the law. The president is the executive, what the CJN is to the judiciary.
Who appoints the CJN?
It is the president that appoints the CJN.
So if the president appoints the CJN according to the constitution,
yes,
doesn't the CJN hold it on?
It doesn't put the CJN under the president. Oh, really? But a lot of people have argued that in very civilized democracies, CJNs of country are voted. Oh. The country elect them. So when the country elect them, just like they elect the executive,
yes,
they will have absolute independence to be able to subject matter under judicial review, because this case was brought to court for judicial review. So the court should be able to look at it dispassionately and make a pronouncement. But here, because the president appoints the CJN, that's the kind of democracy that we are running. But the fact that you appoint them does not also mean that they should become subservient. They should not become subservient. Because in the US, you see the way the Supreme Court always stop the president. It will stop him.
Because even the invasion, because he actually wanted to take the National Guard to Chicago,
yes,
to stop the violence there. The court actually stopped him from doing that, and he respected the court.
Yes, they'll stop him. That's the judiciary function working. The president wants to take an action, they go to judicial review and say you cannot do it based on law. Because it's about America, not about any president. But here, it's about the president.
So how can we, because I've asked this question again and again, how can we, rewrite that story such that it's no longer about the president?
It's to change the legal system. Yes, so change the legal system.
How?
You change the legal system by allowing the CJN to emerge through the mandate of the people.
By the people, that is by you people.
No.
By Nigerians?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. What's wrong with that?
Not by you people, not by lawyers.
Not necessarily by the bar.
Yes.
Not necessarily by the bar. It can be contested, but you must be qualified in terms of what the constitution, the framework of the constitution. You understand? And you must also be an existing judge at the Supreme Court. You understand? But because it's done by ranking, the NJC will now recommend for the president to appoint.
Okay.
Oh, this is really
you understand? So because the NJ will have to recommend, because that is our input now.
Yes.
The lawyer's input. That is recommendation.
Yes.
But because the president now appoints, they now make it look like the person being appointed should be working under the president. Not under the president by law. Separation of power. The Senate president, the CJN, and the president.
Okay, now I am beginning to get it, because our parliaments or the parliamentarians that we have are elected by the people.
Yes.
We go to the votes and we go to polls and we vote for our parliamentarians.
Yes.
So that should be the method for the judiciary also,
yes.
or who becomes
yes.
the CJN.
So that it can be properly independent. So you follow the Saraki National Assembly. You see what they did to Buhari. Many times Buhari will bring letter, they will say no.
Yes, very well.
And they will not be able to move. That's how government should be. They should not be friends. Because if they are friends, it will affect the masses. It will affect this thing. They shouldn't be friends. They should go by what the law is.
Yes.
If it's either the law or nothing.
But why didn't we do it all the while? From the First Republic, second,
no,
why aren't we voting for...
That's how we're calling for reforms now. We're calling for reform that this democracy we are doing is not working. This democracy is somehow. It's not, this cannot give us, this cannot take us to where we're going to. In very civilized democracy, you will not find a president acting arbitrary, acting anyhow. This decision that Tinubu took is supposed to be an impeachable offense if we have parliament. Is it a public parliament that will impeach Buhari, Tinubu? So it tells you that, see, one thing we do in the Nigerian democracy is that we don't know when to stop politics and do governance. We overlap it. If you look at the constitution, in that section 169, or is it 169? When you become a member of the National Assembly, you understand, you are now referred to as a member of the House, not your political party. So what you are doing hence for the day, once a proclamation is made, President will make a proclamation and the House will come into existence. The moment the House comes into existence, you drop the regalia of your political party. It then becomes this thing. You don't become a parliamentarian, a senator, or a member of the House of Representatives, in which case your objective is to make laws, Section 4 of the Constitution, make laws for the good governance of the country. Section 4 of the 1999 Constitution. That's their responsibility. Not to come there to peddle party loyalty in Parliament. No. Because the party is just the vehicle to get into Parliament.
Okay.
Yes. And when you get into Parliament, you park the vehicle. You don't bring the vehicle into Parliament to be driving around inside Parliament. You don't do that.
Is that equally observed in other countries?
Yeah, that is how that is it. That is it. But here, they will not be telling you majority leader, minority leader. Meaning that they are doing politics inside there. You understand me? And we say, why you not say minority? We are not looking at the party that have the less candidate in the House. They will pick one person from that political party as minority leader. Then the party that have the highest number of seats, they will pick one person as majority leader. They now have chief whip and you now have other principal members. So they are doing politics inside there. But if you look at the Constitution, that's not what the Constitution says about it. So they are messing up with the democracy. It's not working. And it cannot work unless we begin to see politics from the way the Constitution says as you know, that sovereignty belongs to the people. Until we see that, the way we won't be able to get through. We will not be able to get through. So if you elect the president and you elect the Senate president, why won't you elect the head of the judiciary?
Very well said. Well, I feel the Constitution should really be well followed, and also what Erin said about rewriting, and even when you made mention of reforming, that's where we are actually, you know, that's where reform comes in. So I feel when we have this balance, then we don't have any issues or anybody going back and forth to make things organized and all. So just a quick answer with this question I have here. Why do opposition parties describe the emergency rule as unconstitutional and illegitimate?
Yes, it's unconstitutional and illegitimate because There's nowhere in the Constitution where it is clearly stated that if you declare a state of emergency, you will remove a governor. It's illegal to do that. That's why they're saying that it's unconstitutional. What is not constitutional should not be adopted in any way under democracy. You understand? And you are doing that, you are going up and down, say you're looking for investors. And you don't have democracy. Who's going to come and invest in a country where you can remove governor when you just wake up and remove governor? Sure. Who invests in the country? So some of these things we're doing it at the detriment of our country. We think it is politics we are playing. You understand? You can't. You see, it's not a proper federal structure we're running. It's not a proper. It's like Trump now removing the governor of California. Governor that used to abuse Trump. Trump said that California is the capital of death recently. Yeah. Because they shot some person. You know, in California, if you don't have documents, you don't have anything, paper, just go. They give you driver's license. They will give you because in US there are states that you can easily cohabit even without any document. Yes. Maryland and the rest of the California and the rest of that. So you can easily do anything any citizen, anybody who have documents can do. You can do it. They document you in your own situation. Document you according to your own situation. You understand? So Trump is against all that. Say no, throw them, they throw the. And they say no, they contribute to our economy. They contribute to our economy. You understand? So they both they don't agree. One of the is it lawmaker or whatever in Maryland, when Trump was there doing one of the issue, was telling her that she's going to comply. She said no, she's not going to comply. The president now say we are the government. And she not say yes, fine, we'll meet in court. You saw that story. We'll meet in court. You understand? And Trump now says see you in court. You understand? So that is it. You don't here we see president as Kabiosi. That everybody will be bowing down for another. I think poverty has affected our democracy. Yes. Has affected our democracy. You cannot remove anybody in America. President remove who? Because the governors even have proper and more autonomy than the president himself. So we should come to that level until we grow to that level where our democracy is so structured that every state have its own roots. You understand? Was it not in this state that a president refused to send money, send the state allocation? The same Tinubu and Obasanjo, when Tinubu increased the local government in Lagos State outside what is contained in the Constitution, and they went to court where they are talking about federalism. They're saying that the governor have that right to expand and do what I do. Obasanjo saying you don't have that right. That what is known to the Constitution is 774. And therefore, if you don't go and reverse, you will not get your allocation. They didn't get the allocation until Osibajo went to court. The state government went to court, represented by Osibajo, and they won. They were in the opposition then pushing for democracy. Democracy now fall on their lap now in 2015. They turned it to another thing, even worse than the way the PDP they were running it. So that is the very painful thing about this government. All the things they criticize under PDP, they've done worse than that in their own tenure. You understand? So at that time, if you listen to the argument, that we were happy as lawyers because it conforms with what the law said. I mean, we're looking at the delineation of states, that they should have authority, absolute authority. The state can decide to do 100 local governments because the governor should not be, is not accountable to the president. Yes. We were very happy. Analysis was good then. You understand? All of a sudden, the APC got it, and see where they have brought analysis to. In 2025, we'll be talking about how somebody has removed governor. Where is it done? A governor can only be removed by 3 ways. resignation, death, and impeachment. That's all. This man has introduced the fourth one. Outside law. So that's what PDP is saying, that it is illegal. Cannot do that. It's not part of the ways recognized by the Constitution. You don't remove a governor. It's not done.
Okay.
All right, and I think it's working on well. I learned that the NBA has moved its conference for next year to Port Harcourt yet again.
Yes, back.
Yes, so which means the transition, of course, would work in favor, and we sincerely hope there will be lasting peace in Rivers State, so we wouldn't have issues like this coming up yet again. Thank you so very much, Barrister, for being here.
My pleasure.
Truly do appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
All right, it's about time. We have to leave it at this particular point. Thank you so very much for making this a date. Wherever it is you've watched us from around the world, we say thank you so very much. But please do well to visit us. You can find us at enterprisetvnews.com. You may equally like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. I am Henry Igwebike.
And I am Kehinde Bodurin.
Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.